everyone, especially to our dearest instructress, Mrs. Carla Joy Palaris. By the way, I am Mariel M. Liwanag from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, your future language educator. And now we will be discussing about the pedagogical issues. This study explores teachers' beliefs about pedagogical issues as well as related educational and professional issues. 600 K-12 teachers in 3 Midwestern states received surveys and 60% returned them. Result of the survey indicated that teachers were relatively unified in their beliefs and few differences emerged around demographic variables. More teachers believe in teaching practices consistent with constructivism than believe in explicit instruction. However, the majority of teachers were mixed, undecided, or balanced about pedagogy. Teachers reserve their strongest beliefs for the importance of learning style, electric instruction, and small class size in the primary grades. Few teachers believe that a great teacher is characterized by high student achievement outcomes, and over half believe that factors such as home environment or dyslexia prevent children from learning basic skills despite the school's best efforts. Teachers valued experience over education and training for professional development, and view teaching as more of an art than a science. According to Merriam-Webster, pedagogy is the art, science, or profession of teaching, especially education. This definition covers many aspects of teaching, but pedagogy really comes down to studying teaching methods. There are many moving parts to pedagogy that include teaching style, feedback, and assessment. While each teacher has a different pedagogical approach to learning in their classroom, they should consider the most effective means of content delivery based on student needs. Do students need more lecture or individual work time? How do the students in the classroom learn best? These pedagogical questions are at the center of approaching learning for students. Pedagogy in teaching. What does it mean? Pedagogy in education can either be teacher-centered or learner-centered with a low-tech or high-tech approach. Teacher-centered learning focuses on the teachers giving lectures and sharing content through direct instruction. It fixates on the knowledge the teacher has and imparting that knowledge to students. Teacher-centered assessment are cut and dry, meant for the student to show they know the knowledge that has been shared with them at the end of a unit. On the other hand, student-centered learning directs the student to be an active participant in their own learning process. While the teacher still delivers content, they take a more of a coaching or mentoring role to help students learn. Student-centered assessment are given more frequently to assess knowledge and tend to be more objective. High-tech and low-tech approaches. It refers to how much technology a teacher uses to help teach the content. In the high-tech includes technology such as Google, personal devices, webcasts, and apps, while in low-tech is more paper-based like worksheets and hands-on projects. The Teach.com shows how these approaches can be combined to achieve student learning. A high-tech teacher-centered approach could include a passive presentation over the content or a video sharing information. And on a high-tech student-centered approach could be a webcast or some type of gamification. On the other hand, in low-tech, Teacher-centered method incorporates direct instruction while the low-tech student-centered merge worksheets and hands-on activities and projects. Each of these approaches to pedagogy within the classroom has benefits and weaknesses. The ultimate way to help students learn is to use a combination of these pedagogical avenues to reach the variety of students within the classroom. Pedagogy in education. Pedagogy in education concentrates on the different learning styles of a student. Every teachers know that no two students are exactly the same, and so finding out how students learn helps the teacher create lessons that help each student learn in the way they learn best. There are several different theories as to how students learn. The first is Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence, which was developed by Howard Gardner in 1983. It states that there are 8 ways in which people learn. The list includes the following learning styles. The first one is the visual spatial. These people or learners are good at puzzles, maps, and direction. Linguistic verbal. They are good with words, both spoken and written. Interpersonal. This type of learning is very intuitive and is good at relationships. Intrapersonal. This learner is very reflective and self-evaluative. Logical mathematical. This type of learner is good with numbers and problem solvings. Musical. This learner has a knack for rhythm and music. Bodily kinesthetic. This learner is very hands-on and has great hand-eye coordination. And lastly, the naturalistic. This learner is attuned with nature and their environment. Gardner research looked at each learning style and helped determine possible vocations as well as strengths and weaknesses for each type of learning. Gardner was not the only person to come up with a theory about learning style. In 1987, Neil Fleming shared his simpler VARK theory with the world. VARK stand for visual, oral, reading or writing, and kinesthetic learning styles. Visual learners learn best by seeing someone else complete the task than attempting it themselves. They function better with charts and diagrams. An oral learner needs to hear the information from them to process it properly. These learners enjoy lectures and reading aloud to themselves. A reading and writing learner prepares to read the textbook and take notes. They also prepare writing definition and creating note cards. Lastly, a kinesthetic learner needs to try the task for themselves. These learners tend to need to move more frequently and fiddle with items in their hands. These are the two most prominent pedagogical approaches to learning styles. Notice that several of the ideas about learning style is similar. While these are both excellent ideas for learning styles, don't be overwhelmed. The whole idea behind these theories is that no two students learn exactly the same way. It is the teacher's job to adjust lessons and incorporate different ways of learning the material to address the different learning style within the classroom. There is a questionnaire based on Fleming's theory that a student can use to figure out their learning style. This is beneficial for students as well as teachers so they can prepare for lessons and assessments. Next is approaches to teaching through pedagogy. There are 5 different pedagogical approaches to teaching. Each one is slightly different and each teacher needs to decide which approach works best for them. Sometimes, a combination of these approaches can be used as well. The first one is the constructivist. Learners are actively involved in the learning process. They create meaning and knowledge of learning material. Learners do not just passively ingest the material. Collaborative. Multiple learners work together to learn material. Small group instruction is based in this concept where different students contribute and help each other learn. The inquiry-based. This pedagogical approach is problem-based. Students are presented with real-world problems and have the opportunity to solve them. They ask questions and research further while learning concepts and material that they may not even realize they are learning. Project-based learning fits in this category. The integrative. The integrative approach involves multiple academic disciplines. Common language is used, cross-curricular, so students know what teachers are talking about as well as expectation. This is especially important for reading and writing skills. Based on common language, students can write in non-English classes more proficiency. It also shows students that material learned in one class is beneficial outside those classroom walls. And lastly, the reflective. This approach is more for the teacher than the student. The teacher reflects upon lessons, project, and assessment to see how they can be improved in the future. Once again, an implementation of a combination of these pedagogical approaches benefits both teachers and students.